Preview of resilient ownership, the practical philosophy of habits, grit, and empowered leadership. In a world saturated with motivational slogans, quick-fix leadership formulas, and feel-good positivity that rarely survives first contact with reality, something more substantial is needed. Resilient ownership offers exactly that. A complete, congruent philosophy of leadership and personal excellence built on evidence-based principles, real-world discipline, and unshakable human psychology. It rejects hype, mysticism, and effortless success narratives. Instead, it delivers a practical system that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary compounding results, day after day, year after year. At its core, resilient ownership asserts a single foundational truth. Authentic leadership, sustained motivation, and genuine positivity are earned through total accountability, daily disciplined habits, and the courageous development of others. It draws together 10 powerful proven concepts from psychology, organizational research, and battlefield-tested leadership into one seamless operating system. The result is not another inspirational book to read and forget. It is a philosophy you live, one that scales from individual habits to high-performing teams and enduring organizational greatness. The journey begins with the growth mindset foundation. Every ability, intellectual, emotional, relational, or strategic, is malleable. Failure is not proof of limitation, but diagnostic data for improvement. This belief replaces fixed self-doubt with realistic optimism. Progress is manufactured through deliberate effort, not granted by talent or luck. When leaders internalize this orientation, they stop protecting ego and start expanding capacity. They model for their teams that setbacks are curriculum, not verdicts. This foundation prevents the philosophy from becoming rigid discipline or blind perseverance. It infuses every subsequent practice with hope grounded in evidence. From this mindset springs the daily architecture of atomic habits. Small, consistent behaviors compound into remarkable change. Leaders shift from chasing distant outcomes to building identity-based systems. I am the type of person who owns my preparation, communicates clearly, and follows through. Using the 4 laws, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, habits become automatic rather than willpower dependent. These atomic actions turn abstract beliefs into visible proof. A missed day does not reset identity, it provides data for system refinement. Habits sustain motivation when inspiration fades and make extreme ownership executable rather than aspirational. Motivation itself is reframed through intrinsic drive. External carrots and sticks eventually fail in complex work. True engagement arises from autonomy, directing one's own efforts, mastery, getting better at what matters, and purpose, serving something larger than self. Resilient ownership designs environments where these 3 elements reinforce one another. Autonomy without accountability breeds chaos. With ownership, it produces responsibility. Mastery deepens when paired with habits and growth beliefs. Purpose provides the why that sustains effort across years. When aligned, intrinsic drive creates renewable energy that feels both energizing and realistic. No hype required. The philosophy's backbone is extreme ownership. Leaders own everything in their world: successes, failures, team performance, communication clarity, and environmental factors they can influence. There is no blame, no victimhood, no waiting for perfect conditions. This total accountability is paradoxically liberating. It returns control to the only domain that truly exists: one's own response, standards, and adjustments. When paired with a growth mindset, ownership accelerates learning. When supported by habits, it becomes daily practice rather than rare heroism. When infused with intrinsic purpose, it channels effort toward meaningful outcomes. Extreme ownership eliminates the excuses that weaken grit and dissolves the diffusion of responsibility that undermines teams. Grit, passionate perseverance for long-term goals, supplies the stamina this philosophy demands. Talent matters, but effort counts twice. It builds skill and converts skill into achievement. Grit combines deep, sustained interest with relentless follow-through, despite plateaus and setbacks. It is not grinding misery, it is purposeful endurance, fueled by identity, habits, and ownership. Resilient ownership cultivates grit by making daily progress visible, connecting effort to larger purpose, and normalizing struggle as the price of expansion. Gritty leaders and teams outlast competitors who rely on flashes of brilliance or short-term intensity. None of these principles scale without human connection. Genuine influence through empathetic connection teaches that real leadership is earned by making people feel genuinely valued and understood. Sincere appreciation, active listening, and perspective-taking build trust faster than authority or charisma ever could. Empathy does not weaken standards. It makes high standards sustainable. It turns radical feedback into welcomed investment and allows coaching to land as empowerment rather than interrogation. In resilient ownership, influence is relational fuel that transforms individual discipline into collective momentum. Disciplined greatness provides the strategic focus that prevents dilution. Drawing on the hedgehog concept, leaders identify the intersection of what they can be the best at, what drives their core results, and what ignites deep passion. Level 5 leadership, humble yet fiercely resolved, guides this path. Disciplined people, thought, and action create a culture where excellence compounds through the flywheel effect. Small, consistent pushes inside the hedgehog circles gradually build unstoppable momentum. This discipline integrates ownership, no excuses for distraction, grit, perseverance through plateaus, and habits, daily execution, into sustained organizational excellence that lasts beyond any single leader. High performance requires cohesive teams. Overcoming the 5 dysfunctions builds the pyramid of trust, healthy conflict, commitment, accountability, and results orientation. Trust emerges from vulnerability, modeled through ownership and empathy. Conflict becomes productive when candor is radical yet caring. Commitment follows clear purpose and shared ownership. Accountability becomes peer-driven when standards are reinforced through habits and coaching. Results stay front and center when ego yields to collective impact. The philosophy provides every tool needed to dismantle dysfunctions and replace them with resilient team dynamics. Radical candor keeps the system honest and calibrated. Leaders learn to care personally while challenging directly, delivering specific, timely feedback without sugarcoating or brutality. This balance prevents ruinous empathy, avoiding truth to spare feelings, and obnoxious aggression, truth without care. Radical candor reinforces growth by naming realities early, supports habits by correcting drift, and sustains ownership by making accountability relational rather than punitive. When practiced consistently, it builds cultures where truth strengthens relationships instead of damaging them. The philosophy reaches its pinnacle in the coaching habit. The ultimate act of leadership is empowering others through powerful questions rather than answers. 7 simple questions. What's on your mind? And what else? What's the real challenge here for you and others? Replace advice giving with self-discovery. This habit activates autonomy, deepens mastery, clarifies purpose, and multiplies ownership across the team. Coaching turns managers into developers of leaders. It scales grit by guiding perseverance, maintains hedgehog focus through strategic inquiry, and integrates radical candor with empathetic listening. When coaching becomes cultural norm, resilient ownership becomes self-perpetuating. Every person grows into greater capability and responsibility. These 10 interlocking elements do not stand alone. They form a single, coherent philosophy. The growth mindset makes change believable. Habits make it practical. Intrinsic drive makes it energizing. Ownership makes it responsible. Grit makes it enduring. Empathy makes it human. Discipline makes it focused. Cohesion makes it scalable. Candor makes it honest. Coaching makes it multiplicative. Resilient ownership delivers grounded, authentic positivity. The quiet confidence that comes from visible progress, owned outcomes, strengthened relationships, and expanding capability. It does not promise ease or guaranteed success. It promises something better: a repeatable system for navigating uncertainty, building resilience, and achieving meaningful excellence without self-deception or burnout. This book is structured as 10 interconnected chapters, each expanding one core idea while cross-referencing the others. Readers will see how mindset supports habits, how ownership amplifies drive, how candor enables coaching, and how the entire system compounds into disciplined greatness. Practical tools, reflection questions, and implementation steps accompany every concept, so the philosophy moves from understanding to daily practice. Whether you lead a small team, run an organization, or simply want to take greater ownership of your own life, Resilient Ownership provides the complete framework. It honors science, respects human nature, and demands rigor, while delivering freedom through responsibility. The philosophy is ready when you are. Start with the growth mindset. Build the daily habits. Own everything. Stay gritty. Connect genuinely. Focus relentlessly. Speak candidly with care. Coach powerfully. Watch resilience compound and leadership multiply. This is not another book about leadership. It is a philosophy for becoming the leader and the person you are capable of being.